Hello students, this is the last unit of the chapter amines where we will be studying about chemical properties of amines. Amines show a large variety of reactions. They are listed for your summary over here. Amines show basicity reactions, that is action of acids. Amines show alkylation, acylation, carbyl amine reaction. They react in a different way with nitrous acid. They react with a reagent called Hinsberg reagent. They show a reaction called Schiff's base formation, and aromatic amines separately show electrophilic substitution. We will be studying these 8 reactions one by one, and towards the end we will study about distinguishing test between amines. Let us see the first reaction, the action of acids on amines. Mineral acids and organic acids react with primary, secondary and tertiary amines and form corresponding salts. This reaction takes place by transfer of hydrogen ions from acid molecule to the amine. You can see in this reaction, which is a general representation, that nitrogen has a lone pair of electrons which transfers to hydrogen, so that hydrogen forms a bond with nitrogen. The anion which remains comes as a counter ion. Since nitrogen is having 4 bonds over here, it receives a positive charge. Let us see examples of this. Suppose we take a compound ethylamine and treat it with HCl. Hydrogen of HCl transfers to nitrogen and forms C2H5NH3 plus Cl minus. If you take an example of a different acid here, say sulfuric acid. Now understand the difference in the reaction. Ethylamine has only one lone pair to donate, but sulfuric acid has 2 hydrogens to react. So there are 2 ethylamine molecules reacting. First molecule absorbs 1 H plus and then second molecule also absorbs second H plus. That's why the formula of the product has C2H5NH3 2 times and SO4 minus 2. If we consider any organic acid, say acetic acid, then reaction is identical, but the way we represent it is slightly different. Here the anion is written first and the cation is later. Here also hydrogen of acetic acid transfers to amine group. The compound which is produced here are usually labeled as alkyl ammonium acetate. While writing the formula, acetate should be written first. Similar reaction can be also shown with formic acid, where it will become HCOO-. Considering aromatic amine like aniline reacts in the same way, aniline reacts with HCl to form benzenium chloride, also anilinium chloride. These amine salts which we have created can react with base like NaOH. Reaction goes backward and parent amine is created. You can see, if we imagine a structure as RNH3 plus X minus, when neutralized by NaOH, original amine is created. Just for example purpose, we have shown here primary amine, but similar reaction takes place even for secondary and tertiary amines. These amine salts what we produce, they are all ionic compounds, because you can see the formula as RNH3 plus X minus. They are non-volatile solids and generally decompose before even their melting points. They are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in organic solvents like chloroform and ether. Also, amines can react with chloroplatinic acid to form insoluble salt called chloroplatinate. These are used in the determination of molar mass of amines. As the reaction goes, you can see the amine is reacting with chloroplatinic acid H2PtCl6. It produces a complex and this is called chloroplatinate insoluble salt. Finding the molecular mass of this, the original molecular mass of amine can be found out. If you see the stoichiometry of the reaction, 2 moles of amine are getting reacted with 1 mole of chloroplatinic acid to produce the salt. So from this stoichiometry of 2 moles and 1 mole, molecular mass is determined. The second reaction is alkylation of amines. What is alkylation? Replacement of hydrogen atom of amines by alkyl group is called alkylation of amine. These reactions follow SN2 mechanism. By this reaction, a primary amine converts into secondary amine, which in turn converts into tertiary amine, which finally converts into quaternary ammonium salt. Let us see a reaction for this. Consider alkylation of an aliphatic amine like methylamine. We can see the stepwise reaction. CH3NH2, when treated with methyl iodide, it first forms a secondary amine, which absorbs more methyl iodide to form tertiary amine, and the last product produced is called quaternary ammonium salt. We can quantitatively imagine here that if I have to convert primary amine into quaternary salt, we need 3 moles of it. But if I want to convert secondary amine into quaternary, we will need 2 moles of methyl iodide. And to convert tertiary into quaternary, we just need 1 mole. Consider alkylation of aromatic amine like aniline. Aniline is shown with a detailed structure here, benzene ring NH2. With first mole of CH3I, first hydrogen is replaced. With second one, second is replaced, and the third is added to form quaternary ammonium salt. The process of converting an amine into quaternary ammonium salt by treatment with alkyl halide is called exhaustive alkylation. When the alkyl group is specifically methyl, it is called exhaustive methylation. Whatever quaternary ammonium salt we have produced, that when treated with moist silver oxide, first we generate quaternary ammonium hydroxide. We can see an example. We are considering here a structure called ethyl trimethyl ammonium iodide. This is treated with moist silver oxide. Now, as you know, moist silver oxide gives you AgOH. So the reaction is simply replacement of iodine with OH. So what we now generate is quaternary ammonium hydroxide. If you observe, the reaction has only taken place with iodide. Step number 2. These quaternary ammonium hydroxides on strong heating undergo beta elimination to form alkene, tertiary amine and water. This reaction is called Hofmann elimination. In this reaction, the major product is always least substituted alkene. Now consider the same hydroxide which we created earlier. In this one you can see alpha carbon atom is the one next to nitrogen. Actually speaking, this structure has totally 4 alpha carbon. But since the reaction is beta elimination, there is only one chance of reaction because there is only one beta carbon. Now as the reaction shows, beta carbon will lose a hydrogen which will go away with OH to form water molecule. When beta hydrogen transfers the bond, alpha beta separates to form ethylene. What is left over is trimethylamine. So the molecule is now divided in three parts. Alpha beta section converts into alkene, trimethylamine separately, and beta hydrogen and OH create water. Hoffman elimination products are always opposite to Sedzev elimination products. In Sedzev elimination, most substituted alkene is the major product, while in Hoffman elimination, the least substituted alkene is the major product. Sedzev elimination takes place for alcohols and haloalkanes. Hoffman elimination takes place for quaternary ammonium hydroxides. So the rules are exactly opposite of each other, although the mechanism both follow is E2 mechanism only. We go for now third reaction of amines called acylation. Replacement of hydrogen atom of amines by acyl group is called acylation of amines. If the acyl group is CH3CO group, then the reaction is called acetylation of amines. By the way, acyl group is RCO group. The product of these reactions are nitrogen substituted amides. These reactions also follow SN2 mechanism. Acylation or rather acetylation is popularly carried out by two reagents, either acetyl chloride or acetic anhydride. We will see one example of each. Now you can see in this example, the first molecule which you see is C2H5NH2 primary amine ethanamine. This is treated with, you can see, acetyl chloride. In presence of pyridine, first it forms a complex and then HCl molecule is lost to produce the N-substituted compounds. The product which you receive is called N-ethyl ethanamide. Let us consider another example where we now take secondary amide and you can see after loss of HCl we are generating the N-substituted amide. The molecules are N-methyl, N-phenyl ethanamide. Acetylation is obviously possible for primary and secondary amines, but not for tertiary amines obviously because of lack of hydrogen atoms. Consider acetylation of primary amine, but now over here instead of acetylation we are using a compound called benzoyl chloride. Here also same reaction occurs. Amines H atom and chlorine of chloride combines to give you HCl, which produces N-phenyl benzamide. Now the difference you can see here is instead of acetyl chloride or acetic anhydride, we are using benzoyl chloride. Benzoylation of compounds containing active hydrogen atoms like alcohols, phenols or amines in presence of NaOH is called Schotten-Baumann reaction. So what reaction we are looking at right now is called Schotten-Baumann reaction. We go for fourth reaction of amines called carbyl-amine reaction. Aliphatic and aromatic primary amines, when warmed with chloroform and alcoholic KOH, they produce compounds called carbylamines, which are also known as isocyanides. Isocyanides have extremely unpleasant smell by which they can be recognized easily. Secondary and tertiary amines do not give this test. That's why this reaction is used to distinguish primary amines from the other two types. Let us see a general reaction. RNH2 with chloroform and KOH alcoholic produce RNC, that is alkyl isocyanide. If you see an example of it where R taken as ethyl group, you get ethyl isocyanide. The fifth reaction of amines is action of nitrous acid. Primary, secondary and tertiary amines react differently with nitrous acid. Nitrous acid itself is quite unstable. That's why whenever we need it, we prepare it in situ with action of dilute HCl on NaNO2. So NaNO2 reacts with HCl to form nitrous acid HNO2. Let us see now action of nitrous acid on different amines. First we consider aromatic primary amines. Aromatic primary amines can react with nitrous acid at a very low temperature of 0 degree to 5 degree Celsius, and they form arene diazonium salts. You can see an example of aniline reacting to produce benzene diazonium chloride. This reaction is known as diazotization. Remember, diazotization only happens for aromatic primary amines but not for aliphatic. Let us see now aliphatic primary amines reacting with nitrous acid. Aliphatic primary amines react with cold nitrous acid to form the main product as alcohol and quantitative evolution of nitrogen gas. Since no other type of amine show the evolution of nitrogen gas, this is a test for aliphatic primary amines. You can see a general reaction now. RNH2 is a primary amine and reacting with HNO2. You can see the reaction product as ROH with byproduct nitrogen gas and water. If I take an example of R as C2H5, we generate C2H5OH ethanol as a product. Let us see now aliphatic secondary amines. Both aliphatic and aromatic secondary amines react with nitrous acid to form N-nitrosoamine. These nitrosoamine products are insoluble in mineral acids and immediately separate out as a neutral yellow oily liquid. So if you see a reaction now, it's R2NH with HNO2. So H and OH will go out as H2O and nitroso-functional group attaches to nitrogen. Nitroso-functional group is N double bond O. One example is written here where we have diethylamine. So the name of the product becomes N-nitroso diethylamine, or in IUPAC system it becomes N-nitroso diethanamine. These N-nitrosoamine on warming with a crystal of phenol and sulfuric acid form a green solution, which on further reaction with NaOH turn deep red and then blue in color. This reaction is known as Lieberman's nitrosoamine reaction. This is used for distinguishing secondary amines from primary and tertiary. Aliphatic tertiary amines react with nitrous acid to form water-soluble nitrite salts. Aromatic tertiary amines react with nitrous acid to form electrophilic substitution at para position. So you can see tertiary amines aliphatic and aromatic react in a different way. Primary amines aliphatic and aromatic react in a different way, but aliphatic and aromatic secondary amine react in a same manner with nitrous acid. Nitrous acid reactions can be used for distinguishing between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Let us come to a very important reaction called Hinsberg's reagent reaction. Hinsberg reagent first of all is benzene sulfonyl chloride, and it has a structure as benzene ring SO2Cl. This react with primary, secondary and tertiary amines in a different way. Let us see slowly one by one reaction. Primary amine, what happens? In case of primary amine, have a look at the reaction. Primary amine RNH2 reacts with benzene sulfonyl chloride. Now what reaction can we see here? The hydrogen of primary amine removes the chlorine atom and connects benzene sulfonyl group to nitrogen. The hydrogen of amine is called acidic hydrogen because it is connected with SO2 group. That is removed immediately by NaOH to form ion, which is water soluble salt. This water soluble salt, when added with HCl, gives you insoluble precipitate of N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide. So, primary amine gives first a clear solution, which on acidification gives insoluble compound. Now, when the clear solution is written, that means it is water soluble salt. And when they say insoluble compound is the last product. Remember this and let us see how it differs with secondary amine now. For secondary amine, it forms insoluble compound which remains unaffected after addition of acid. Now see the reaction. The benzene sulfonide chloride molecule removes hydrogen of secondary amine. Now you can see the product which is created cannot react further because there is no acidic hydrogen connected to nitrogen. So if you add HCl over here, further reaction doesn't take place. If you can imagine, tertiary amines do not have the replaceable hydrogen, so they do not react with Hinsberg reagent at all. Thus, Hinsberg reagent can be used for distinguishing between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Let us come to a reaction, the action of aldehydes and ketones. This reaction is not mentioned in the textbook, so this reaction is mostly done for only JEE and NEET syllabus. Both aliphatic and aromatic primary amines can react with aldehydes and ketones in presence of a small amount of acid to form compounds called azomethynes or Schiff's base, also known as aneles. Let us see what are they. RNH2 primary amine react with an aldehyde which is RCHO. Now as I have made it with marking with red color, the H2O molecule goes away and by condensing the group, what we are generating is called a Schiff's base. So Schiff's base has a formula R N double bond CHR dash. If I replace this R with some group like C2H5, we can get the corresponding product. Here the R group of amine and R group of aldehyde could be same or they can be different also. Here we are taking an example of aniline with benzaldehyde, where we get the compound which is Schiff's base of aromatic nature. Secondary amines like acyclic or cyclic both can react with aldehyde or ketone containing alpha hydrogen to first form carbinolamines, which can lose a molecule of water to form alpha beta unsaturated amines. These alpha beta unsaturated amines are called enamines. Let us see the example with mechanism. This is a secondary amine which is reacting with aldehyde. Now this aldehyde has the hydrogen which is shown separately is the alpha hydrogen. Now you can see how the reaction occurs. The oxygen of aldehyde or ketone, alpha hydrogen and secondary amines hydrogen together are lost as water. The nitrogen's lone pair attacks on carbon and the bond of hydrogen shifts to the carbon atom. That gives you a compound with ene, that means double bond, and amine, which is secondary amine, which is the final product. Let us see an example of this, where you can see isobutyraldehyde's alpha hydrogen is shown, the oxygen of aldehyde is shown, and secondary amines hydrogen. These three atoms which are shown in blue color will be lost as water, and by joining we get enamine produced. The Schiff's base or enamines can be reduced further to form corresponding amines. the Schiff's base of aldehyde produce secondary amine. So we can see an example here. The example which I am showing right now is the Schiff's base, which on reduction give you secondary amine. And if you see enamine produce tertiary amines at the end. The reducing agents used here are either catalytic hydrogenation or sodium borohydride. Let us come to the last section of these reactions, electrophilic substitution of aromatic amines. Aniline molecule shows resonance, wherein it has at least 4 structures of resonance, and including the original one, it becomes 5 structures. You can see that the negative charge in all these structures are present on ortho and para positions. That is why electrophile, which is cation, can attack on ortho and para positions. That is why aniline will show electrophilic substitution at ortho and para positions. In most of the cases, as usual, para products are major products. We will consider 3 or 4 reactions under this. First is bromination of aniline. Due to the strong activating effect of amine group, halogenation of amines becomes very fast, and reaction is not obtained only at ortho or para. It happens at all the positions without any catalyst. For example, aniline on treatment with bromine water forms 2,4,6 tribromoaniline. So you can see a reaction here that aniline with bromine forms 2,4,6 tribromoaniline. Now, obvious thing is that if we want monohalogen derivative, the upper reaction becomes useless. So, if monohalogen derivative is to be produced, amino group, which is hyperactive group here, has to be first acetylated. Once you acetylate the group, then reaction becomes slow. After the halogenation, acetyl group can be removed. Now watch here very carefully how we do the reaction. We take aniline here. We treat it with acetic anhydride, due to which you can see NH2 group is converted into N-acetyl group. Now bromination is carried out using acetic acid. Here bromine is introduced at the para position, and once the process is done, adding water, we can now remove the acetyl cover and get amine group back. By this reaction we can see only para-bromoaniline is produced. Let us come to the second part, nitration of aniline. When nitration is carried out with strong nitrating agent, it creates a mixture of para, meta and ortho compounds, wherein para and meta are almost similar in ratios, whereas ortho is obtained in a very small amount due to obviously steric hindrance. So when we see the reaction here, para product has least steric hindrance, so it is obtained in maximum amount, meta lesser than that, and due to steric hindrance, ortho is in least amount. Once again, if we want to carry out mononitration, then the group is first marked with acetyl group and then nitration is carried out. Once again, have a look at the reaction. Amine is now first acetylated and covered. Nitration takes place to introduce nitro group at para position, and at the end the masking agent is removed. In this particular reaction, ortho product is also obtained as a very small amount. The third reaction is sulfonation of aniline. Aniline can be treated with concentrated sulfuric acid at 455 to 475 Kelvin. This gives a product para-aminobenzene sulfonic acid, and this is also known as sulfanilic acid. Sulfanilic acid contains two important functional groups, one acidic group and second basic group. So they react with each other to form an internal salt. This salt is called dipolar ion, also in German language Zwitter ion. Now we can see the reaction here that amine first absorbs sulfuric acid. It forms a salt, and later on the sulfonic acid group is rearranged at para position. From sulfonic acid, hydrogen is transferred to the amine group to produce Zwitter ion. A very common reaction which we always study in aromatic compounds is Friedel-Crafts alkylation or acylation. Friedel-Crafts alkylation or acylation are always carried out in presence of Lewis acid like AlCl3. Here, aniline itself is a Lewis base and AlCl3 is a Lewis acid. So, they are going to react with each other to form a salt. So, when we try to carry out Friedel-Crafts reaction, the catalyst itself reacts with aniline. It produces a very reactive group called NH2AlCl3. This group is a strong electron withdrawing group. It reduces the electron density on benzene ring, and hence aniline cannot show Friedel-Crafts reaction. We come to the distinguishing tests for amines, and these tests you are already studied, we are just summarizing them together. The first is Hinsberg's test. Primary amine is treated with Hinsberg reagent. It produces N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide, and on acidification it is soluble in KOH. If you carry out this reaction with secondary amine, we get NN dialkyl benzene sulfonamide, which is insoluble in KOH, and tertiary amine do not show the reactions. Second is called azo dye test. Primary amine reacts with dilute HCl and cold HNO2, in which we add beta-naphthalene NaOH. This reaction produces brilliant orange or red dye. If you try to do this reaction with secondary or tertiary amine in the same manner, no reaction takes place. This completes our all the reactions of amines. The topic completes over here. The only section remaining in this topic is study of diazonium salts.